Okay, welcome back. And on my way out, I was hiking my way out of the woods after taking a brief hike. And look what I found coming out. This is buried in the dirt. Like I said, you don't have to just look for trees. You could find knots buried. And look at this. Look at this knot. I'm going to set my camera up and I'm going to chop into it a little bit and probably take it with me. This is a huge, beautiful fatwood knot that's very old. It's been buried there for I don't know how long. Welcome back, folks, to the Outdoor Wilderness Wildlife Adventures, and I'm your host, Hiker Lou, and this is Lone Wolf Scouting Fatwood Haunted Adventures. Now, I have two parts to episode 48, and I'm going to make this part 3 to episode 48. I'm here back out in the woods where I had that magical encounter with that beautiful little baby deer. Now, I'm at a different location in this patch. Like I said, it's all about tree identification. You got to know how to identify a pine tree before you start doing anything. Because if you're chopping into the wrong type of tree, you're not going to be getting what you're looking for. Tree identification, just Google it, do whatever you have to do to learn what these pine trees look like. Like I said, they come in many different forms, to rotting or decomposing. Every time you come out in the woods looking for fatwood, it's going to be a different scenario, and that's what's important. Knowing how to identify, tree identification, to identify a pine tree in different stages of it decomposing. And now to give you a good idea when you're looking for it, that you're not going to be wasting your time chopping into a piece of wood that's not even pine wood. And I want to show you what's inside of this deadlock. Those are knots that were sticking out. They go inside of the to the stem. And I'm going to show you that in a minute, so stay with me. This is going to be one exciting fatwood experience, folks, and I want you to stay there and learn. Because that's why I'm out here, to teach and share my experiences with you all. Stay with me. Okay, folks, here we are, and I'm going to show this to you. This is the dead piece of fatwood that I found. This is the dead piece of pine wood that I found with the knot sticking out. And this is the other knot that I mentioned yesterday, this knot right here. You can see that knot. That's the knot right there. Okay, and the rest of this here's another knot. I believe this is the one that I cut from. And the rest of it's just dead wood that is decomposing because it doesn't have that concentration of fatwood in it. So what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to trim all this around with just the fat, just with the knot, exposing that knot and separating it from all the other pieces of dead wood that did not survive the age of time. Stay with me in here. Now, folks, I got my larger hatchet, and I'm going to start digging into this, and I'm going to cut it down. You're going to see this. Watch. Now, this is right here is fatwood. But what I want to do is cut down everything. You can see that. And you can see this right here, what I just did. This is all wood. This has some degree of fat resin in it, but this knot is what has all that resin in it, and that's a knot. This is what it looks like going into the trunk of the tree. So stay right with me, and I'm going to cut into this a little more, that you can see what I'm doing here. And this piece right here that's gold right there. That's fatwood gold. I'm not going to touch that piece right there, but just watch as I trim this up. This is the base right here. Flip that over. That'll make it a lot easier to work with. Clean this whole thing up. And just show you what's inside this knot. The concentrations of fatwood. Now I just may have to chop this in half. That is one strong piece of fatwood. It's that resin that makes it so hard. Oh yeah. Beautiful wood, very beautiful wood. Just getting all this old stuff out of there. This is what you're going to be left with, just this knot. This is the knot. I'm cleaning this knot up really nice, getting all this wood off. Look how beautiful this is, folks. Look at that. This is the little knot that I extracted from that dead log, and I'm going to chop a little more off this. Okay, this is it. Look at that. What a beautiful little knot. And I'm going to do the same with this. Here's the other piece that I had taken from yesterday that I did the shavings, the long strokes, as you can see. And this is a knot that's inside of it. So let's see what could happen. Okay, look at that. Look at this knot, folks. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut right down the middle of this. And today, I bought a larger knife to cut right down this knot right here. And like I said, I'm using this using this dead, whatever is remaining of that, of the dead log, as a base to cut. Here we go. Wait until you see what's inside here. That's it. Look at this. There we go. Look how beautiful this fatwood is. This is from the knot. This is from the knot, and now when you open it up, look at that. That's fatwood gold. Fatwood gold. From an old knot that I extracted out of a dead log that was half buried in the ground. All right, now, and I have this small one right here. That's what I want to get into. Just want to get into that knot. Look at that. Look how beautiful that piece of fatwood is. Solid knot. The hardest piece of the pine tree is the knots. They're the knots. They're the harder pieces. The hardest pieces, because they're so concentrated with resin and they have such weight to it. So these are the pieces I just harvested. Wanted to show you. Okay, and we'll do the power to burn, and I'm going to call it quits. And if I see that deer, hopefully I'll have another magical encounter with that deer. It was awesome the other day, and I brought some nuts with me and some peanut butter to give it a snack. I know they say don't feed wildlife, and I'm not really feeding it, but I felt that I have a connection with that little baby deer, and I just wanted to show my love. Look how beautiful that is. All of that fatwood in here. This whole thing is very heavy, and you got one knot here coming all the way down here. This is how far it travels, from here all the way inside this. This is all solid. And this knot also. Let me show it to this camera too. You got this knot from here coming all the way to right here. The same thing with this knot going into the towards the trunk of the tree. Okay, folks, I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to use this as a base, like I did in my last video. I'm going to put some shavings here, and I'm going to do the powder burn for it. Here we are, and I have this knot. All right, I'm going to take some shavings from, and I'm going to demonstrate the power to burn while I'm here. And this is one hard knot. It's going to be hard to look at that. It's so hard and solid resin. Look at this. And this is the way I could, it's best I could get it off. Show it to you. This is another technique of doing, getting shavings off of you. Not like in my previous video, that was the long strokes. The little short ones like this. You just take your time and you'll get the resin off. You'll get those shavings off. Resin-filled shavings. Alright, we got some shavings here. These are super resin, resined pine wood. Very hard shavings to get. This is the knot. Very hard to get shavings from. And I just may see if I can get something from here. Oh, I have to sit down, folks. I have a bad back. Okay, here we are. Kind of opened it up. Get some shavings from it. Yep, that worked perfectly. Look at that. Looking beautiful fine shavings. And if I could get my hand on this, get a good grip. Let me see. I think I could do it this way. Get some shavings like that. Curl shavings. Let me try this way. Let's see what happens. If I could get a good grip. Yep, I think I got it. There it is. Got some curl shavings. You don't need much of this stuff. I'll tell you folks, this is really concentrated fatwood. Very, very old. From a dead pine tree that died many years ago. I'm going to pick up some of these shavings here. That should ignite with no problem. Got plenty of curl shavings here to do it. And after this, I'm going to have to leave, folks, and conclude the video. I have a busy schedule today. I just want to come out in the woods with the hopes of having that magical encounter again with the deer. I'm mentioning the deer. I don't see it. I don't see that little baby deer, but I'm going to have to take a little hike in the woods for a little while, and then if I do encounter that deer, it'll be a magical experience for me and as well as who's watching. All right, we're going to do the powder burn right now. Okay, get my gloves on. And this is just an art that I'm trying to show you, a skill to master when you're out in the woods. Okay, here we are. Let's see what happens here. This is just a brief demonstration, short video with the powder wood. Here's the powder burn, folks. There it is. Throw a couple more sparks on there. Help it right along. It has all it needs already. And this is the powder burn, folks, like I just told you. And there it is. And that's all it takes. There's a couple of sparks, and you can have that fire lit in no time. In case you are ever in a survival situation, it's a good skill to practice and learn. It's definitely a good skill and practice to learn, folks. vitally important that you know how to get a fire started in a short amount of time, because your life may depend on it. And knowing, like I said, you have to know tree identification. You have to know how to identify a pine tree in different stages of it decomposing. Okay, this is Hiker Lou with the Outdoor Wilderness Wildlife Adventures, and this is Lone Wolf Scouting Fatwood Haunted Adventures. Until next time, folks, be well, stay safe, get outdoors. There you are, the power of the burn. Now I'm going to go hike a little bit. Hopefully I'll have that magical encounter with that little baby deer that I had in my last video. This is part 3 to episode 48 to conclude. Until next time. Taking a short hike after making my Scouting Fatwood video. I see a tree up here. And I hope I have that encounter with that deer, that magical encounter again. That's an oak tree, a dead oak tree. And I see something written on the wall of the tree. I want to see what that says. Fork. I guess this must be a hiking trail. And they have markings on the tree. I don't know at this point if that's a pine tree or a dead oak tree. So we have a fork here, and we have markings on the tree. There are markings all over all these trees, many markings. I believe that deer's on the other side of this patch of woods. I'm just going to keep going a little farther here. And that trail goes that way, I believe. There's another dead tree. That could be a pine tree, dead pine tree. Here's, folks, here's a perfect example. This is definitely pine wood, and those are the small knots. Another piece of pine wood right there. Wow, look at this. What is that? I won't touch it, but what is that? Anyone know what that is? Leave your comments in the comment section. In the comment section. In the comment section. Wow, I see something huge down here that looks fallen. These are all little paths here. I don't know what that is up over there. I'm going to get back on this path here, but I'm curious to see what that is. And look at this here. Wow, if I could get in there. This is a dead fallen log. I don't know if it's pine wood. Look at that. All the way. And look at that. And they got something over here. if I could make my way in there. I think I can. I'm just curious about this here. That's a big fallen pine tree. Look at this. This right here. This could save your life if you can identify this. That looks like oak just by that bark. Right there. That's oak. You can clearly tell the difference between a pine tree and an oak tree because the bark is different. And a pine tree has more flaky bark than an oak tree. That is an oak tree. That's a big oak tree. A really big one. So I'm just going to get back onto that path that I came from. I can make my way out of here again. Okay. There we are. Get back on this path here. There we are. It's easy to get lost if you're in the woods, especially if you're way out in the woods and you leave the trail. You better hope you can find that trail again unless you use markers. Okay. Where's this going to take us to now? I'm going to go a little deeper and then eventually work my way out to the other side. This is a large enough patch of woods for that baby deer. I believe a lot of other deers too. Nothing but woods in here. Look at that. Okay, welcome back. And on my way out, I was hiking my way out of the woods after taking a brief hike. And look what I found coming out. This is buried in the dirt. Like I said, you don't have to just look for trees. You could find knots buried. And look at this. Look at this knot. I'm going to set my camera up and I'm going to chop into it a little bit and probably take it with me. This is a huge, beautiful fatwood knot that's very old. It's been buried there for I don't know how. Okay, here we are, and I want to show this to you one more time. This is very heavy, has weight to it. Look at this knot. Look at the size of it. And this is what's buried. You can see how dark it is, buried in the soil for I don't know how long, but I know it's been here a long time. And I'm just going to briefly cut into it to show you the color that's inside here. This is fatwood gold right here. Just take a look at that. Look how beautiful this piece of wood is. Let's see if I can just chop right into it and show you the color that's all inside of this piece of wood. This is an incredible find here. On my way out, leaving, and this is what I find. Another piece of fatwood gold just laying around waiting to be discovered. Look at this. Clean this up real quick. This is an amazing find. There we are, folks. Look how beautiful this fatwood is. And this little puppy is coming home with me. And I found it right here. Right here, where I'm pointing to. Right laid up in here. Right along the path. I couldn't believe it when I first saw it. I said, wait a minute. I picked this up and a piece of gold just laying in there. This is what makes it worth getting out, scouting or looking for fatwood, tree identification, know what these little pieces look like when they're not even part of the tree. They could be laying anywhere. They could be half buried in the soil. You just got to know how to recognize that. Tree identification, you got to know what it looks like at different stages of it rotting or decomposing, if you want to say. Look at that. That's such a beautiful piece of fatwood. I am so stoked right now. Okay, folks, I have to get out of these woods. I got things to do. And it was a pleasure of having you come along this exciting adventure. Look at this. That's what came off it. I'm going to keep these two pieces. This is definitely a good. Welcome back to the Outdoor Wilderness Wildlife Adventures, folks. And it came true. My desires were fulfilled by God because the deer, she's coming right toward me, and you can see her right there. There she is. And she's eating the peanuts that I got her. She's getting closer. She's looking right at me, and I have some nuts, some walnuts for her. I bought a bag of walnuts for my little baby here. A whole big bag of walnuts. Okay. And I got peanut butter. I got peanut butter for you too, baby. Here she is. And she's eating. I threw some walnuts. I got some peanuts for her. And I got peanut butter. And I have a spoon. Take out the peanut butter for baby. Come on. I got peanut butter. And I'm just going to sit here on the floor. I got a snack peanut butter. Oh, I got a whole bunch of walnuts. I got nuts, regular peanuts, and I have a jar of peanut butter. And I'm just going to sit here with her while she gets closer. And hopefully I could get her close enough so you can see her on the video. I'm going to take my chair out and sit down quietly. Here she comes right now. She's coming right up to me. Hello, baby. There she is. How you doing? There she is. She's on the side. I'm going to take my chair out because I want to sit down. My back is, I have a bad back. And I'm sure they have a keen sense of smell. Come on, baby. It's okay. There she is. She's going to work her way right back to me. She's foraging now. Come on, baby. Here you go. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on, sweetheart. Come on, baby. I was looking for you and I found you. I think that's something written in the stars between us. That is the most incredible thing. I was about to leave and I just pressed on to this patch, this other side of the woods from where I was recording, and she'll be back. I'm sure she will. Here's a little baby deer near the road. And I'm about to leave, and there she is. There she is, right near the traffic, on the edge of the woods here. There she is, right there. And she came to me for the second time when I was in the woods here, and then she just decided to go out there and forage. She's foraging right out there. It's beautiful. Look at that. This sweet little baby deer. Okay, I'm going to get back in here. Okay, this is Hiker Lou with the Outdoor Wilderness Wildlife Adventures. Until next time, folks, be well, stay safe, get outdoors.